how Govind, who went to Brazil for supposedly writing about love, no? Come here, come here, come here. You can tell this beautiful story, and you, Swami Sridhar, also come. You can tell how beautiful this story, and how you can see how God planned everything. Then we carry on with the story of Shabari afterwards. It's a bit similar. That's why I'm telling them to do.
So, as Guruji was saying, it started. I was looking to write a movie about a love, and wanted to tell a love story. So I went to Brazil to look for some inspiration. And in the airport, I was looking for a SIM card. I was at the what do you call it? The airport before my final destination in Sao Paulo, on my way to Rio. And I looked everywhere for a SIM card. I couldn't find one anywhere. I looked for over an hour, and I saw a man drinking a coffee. American-looking guy. I think, man, maybe he knows. Maybe at least he could speak English. So I went up to him. It was Sridhar, Swami Sridhar, and said, "Hey, do you know where SIM card is?" No. But we just get to talking, and so what are you doing here? I'm working on a movie. He said, "Oh, I'm a filmmaker too. Actually, I've been working on a documentary." So we get to talking, and he tells me he's been working on this documentary and about a realized master that he met at the Kumbh Mela many years ago. And to me, that really struck my interest. I mean, that's something I'd already been reading about, something I was already, very interested in general, spirituality. We're talking about Yogananda, our personal relationship with the divine. And I knew at that time, I knew him as Tim. Tim tells me, "Oh, so he's my guru. I follow him. He's actually coming here tomorrow, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to go on this pilgrimage with him. And if you want, maybe you could meet him if you wanted to. I can't guarantee he's going to give you more than just a quick moment of his time, but if you want to take that chance, you could come with me." And so, in my head, to me, like, wow, a realized master. I know how rare that is. At least from the books that I've read, from everything I knew that that's a very rare opportunity if it was true. So I said, yes, of course, let's do it. So I accompanied him to the hotel he was staying at, the airport hotel, changed my flights, and we went the next day to the airport very early in the morning. And that's when I met Guruji for the first time. And we meet. It was very sweet. We shook hands. Like, I don't know what to do here. Hello, nice to meet you, and have a little hug. And we started walking. And he invited me along on the pilgrimage. And then I found myself pushing Guruji's bag, actually, and trying to keep up with him. I guess he was in a rush, and we needed to get him to the gate and get him checked in. And so I'm kind of helping him with the luggage. And he's with some devotees who are looking at me very, very strangely. Who is this guy, touching Guruji's luggage? I didn't know at the time anything. I'm just trying to help him get to the flight. What do you know?
On that note, we had been together with Guruji for about 10 minutes. And then it was like, okay, we got to go. We have another flight to catch. And so we all started steaming towards the elevator to go to the next floor for departures, to check the bags in. And at that point, as most of you know, when Guruji's present, your focus changes and you completely start focusing on him. And I kind of lost awareness of Corwin. And when we were waiting for the elevator, which was just 1 minute after the 10-minute meeting, I turned and there was Corwin pushing Guruji's luggage behind Guruji. And if anyone knows, it was a shock. I was like, oh my gosh, like, you're already pushing his luggage? I mean, because, he covets, who's pushing my luggage, who has Giridhari? It's, you have to take great care, and he has to have trust in you that you're not going to forget it or lose it or whatever. And to see Govind in that moment, within minutes, serving him was just a beautiful shock and kind of a precursor to what's unfolding now.
so we get to check in, and Guruji gets checked in, and it's my turn to purchase a ticket at the counter, and I asked the guy, can I have a ticket to where they're going? He says, yeah, of course, but you have to go to that end of the airport, wait in that line over there. It's like, oh geez, this flight's leaving in maybe 40 minutes. All right, I'll go. I run to that end of the airport, I wait in this long line, get the ticket, go to the gate. My luggage is too big. They won't let me through security. I have to go back, check the luggage. At this point, it's like really the time's ticking, you know. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to miss this opportunity. I really don't want to miss this, you know. I don't, you know, all I have from Tim at that time is the name of the small town that they're going to. I don't know how to get there or anything. I just know they're going to some ashram there. And so I checked the bags.
Our ashram there actually was the inauguration of that ashram.
Yes.
Opening of the temple there.
So I go back to security, and at this point I don't care. I'm so late. I cut all the lines, and people are just pissed at me. I go through the staff line or something like that, and luckily the security people let me cut everyone. I don't know. They somehow knew that it was okay. I cut everybody in the security line. I'm running to the gate. I get to the gate, and just like out of a movie, the jetway is pulling away from the plane. The plane's just backing up. And I just thought, oh man, I lost my chance. Like this is it. It's done. That was all it was. You know. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I guess I'll just, you know, I thought about. Actually, I was looking at that gate I was actually praying that somebody was gonna have some medical emergency, and the thing was gonna just back up. The gate was gonna go on again. I was like, "There's something must happen." I know I'm supposed to be there. But it's like it's not really gonna go right, but it left. It's like, okay, so I thought about it. Waited for the next flight. I figured, okay, I'll just go anyway, and I'll find a way to the town. I'll just ask around, where's this ashram, this temple, this. You know, somebody will point me the right way. So I take the next flight 3 hours later, and I get a taxi, and I'm about to get in the taxi, and again, all I have is the name of this town, and I know, and as soon as I get in that taxi, I know I still don't have this SIM card, so I'm just going to be, at that point, I'm just going to have to go with the intuition and just figure it out. So I'm about to get in the back of the car, and a hand reaches out from behind me, grabs me. I spin around, and it's a devotee dressed in all white. His name was Damodara Das, and he recognized me. He said, "Are you that guy from the airport?" I was like, yeah. He's like, do you want to go see, are you trying to go see Guruji right now? I'm like, yeah. Oh my God, for sure I'm trying to go see Guruji. Like, can we? He's like, come on. I was like, oh my God, thank you. I was like, leave the taxi, just peace, you know. Sorry, taxi, you know, you're on your own, Uber, you know. So we go, and we drive out, and little did I know, just in the backstory, Guruji had been, I guess Guruji was stalling, or not stalling, but looking for some relics at the time. So they were taking many hours on their journey before they were delayed. You know, Guruji had some things to do, and they were eating lunch at a restaurant out in some farmland out there in the cornfields. Go ahead.
Yeah, may I jump in right here?
Please.
So we had driven for 3 or 4 hours and stopped for lunch. And we all got out of the cars, and there's a beautiful swing under this tree. And Guruji sat in the swing, and we all enjoyed watching him swing and took some pictures. And then we went inside for lunch, and they were known for their corn, their maize, in all different forms. And we spent some time there getting ready to have lunch and looking at shopping little things at the store and drinking drinks. And Guruji came up to me, and he was like, "Dimos, where's your friend?" And I said, "Guruji, I don't know. I've been WhatsApping him, and he's not responding. He hasn't opened the messages." And Guruji said, "Okay." And then he walked away. And I was like, oh. And I kid you not, within 1 to 2 minutes, Corwin walked through the doors of the restaurant. And it was at that moment right there that I said to myself, I don't ever have to worry about Corwin again. Because I was worried about him finding us. I got to get this guy directions. I got to get him to the hotel, help him. Maybe he knows how to find his way, maybe he doesn't. And Guruji said, where's your friend? And within 2 minutes, he walks in, and we're in like 3 to 4 hours from the airport in what seemed like in the middle of nowhere. And I just felt to myself, I knew right then that I don't ever have to worry about Govinda because Guruji's taking care of him. And then he ended up sitting at the table where we were having lunch. Immediately, he's sitting with Guruji at his table. And we had already started eating, so he got food. And eventually, Guruji started speaking with him. And he asked him his name. And his name is Corwin. And Guruji was having fun. He's like, Corwin? Corwin? Like, Corwin?
That was ironic for me, too, because I'm always, whenever I would go to a Jamba Juice or Starbucks, I'd never get my name right, too. So I was recalling that.
And then he says, you know what? Sounds like Govind. I'm just going to call you Govind. So within like...
And to me, from my point of view at that time, just not being anywhere close to a devotee in my mind at that time, from that perspective, to me it was like, oh, okay, cool, another nickname. All right, I always get a nickname, And I was looking around, and the swamis at the table, they were repeating the name. Govind. Oh, he said Go, and I noticed Tim's like super happy about it. He's like, oh, Govind. Oh, I'm like, why is he so happy about this nickname? I was like, all right. Yeah.
Govind. So here's Govinda at the table, eating with our beloved Guru, getting prasad, being given a name, all within minutes, serving him, and with hours at his table. And it was incredible. And he was on his way to Rio de Janeiro. He had a flight. And he was working on a script to write a movie about love. And I think that the idea of love for him in the script at the time was maybe more of a human drama of love. But I imagine that, the sincerity there and the pre-planning that was involved diverted his course. And over the course, he spent the whole week with us in Brazil. And then he flew back to the United States for a family wedding. And then he was so moved by his experience that he flew back down for the 3rd week in Peru.
Okay, cut the story short, and he's still here. He's have come and he have
Govind!
gone, yeah.